Hey guys, Mike Nevers here. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Welcome into On Deck. I'm Tyler Redmond. As always, make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell for notifications so that you can be notified with everything related to Braves baseball. Now, Cal Wright pitched in yesterday's scrimmage. It's the second to last scrimmage the Braves will have. Of course, their last one will be today before they face the Marlins next week. Cal Wright had 3 solid innings, and I think he'll make the opening day roster without an issue. We know for a fact that the Braves are going to be carrying extra pitchers, and hopefully he'll continue to pitch like he did yesterday throughout the season. But let's talk about the offense now. Ronald Acuña has caught some headlines over the past few days with his hot bat. Yesterday we spoke about him being 2 for 2 with 2 doubles on Wednesday, and yesterday he led off the game with a single, and then he stole second. And we all know that mindset of 50-50 that he had in spring training 1.0. It doesn't seem like his mindset has changed at all, although the goal might have altered with the limited season. I still think that the stolen base potential is definitely high, and I think he's ready to go for the season. I think he's geared in and locked. But another guy that's locked in that might not be as expected would be Travis d'Arnaud. He hit another bomb to deep center field yesterday. He's got the most in Braves summer camp. That homer was off of Patrick Weigel. And what an addition to this lineup. Not only do we have a guy behind the dish, but now he's a middle-of-the-lineup guy that can really produce. And he certainly had a great introduction to Braves country. And this wasn't the only homer yesterday, but like I said, he's got the most in Braves summer camp, and it's really impressive. The other guy that went deep was Albies. And I mentioned the other day, good to see these guys geared up and ready. It seems like the offense is starting to click again. At the beginning it seemed like the pitching was doing better than the offense. Now, the bats are coming back, and we know how that Braves offense is. I think they're going to jump right into the season without a problem, and that's important. Like I keep saying, it's so important for teams. If they want to win this season, they've got to start early because it's only 60 games, and anything can happen in that amount of time. So you want to get off to the best start possible. I think this offense is ready to do that. So with that said, we have to talk about something that's kind of worrisome. Another Atlanta Brave has been exposed to COVID-19. Peter O'Brien. Now, he tested negative, so don't be too worried about it. But due to MLB protocol, he's got to test negative twice before he can return. So the Braves added him to the 10-day injured list. And that allowed the Braves to bring up prospect Michael Harris to the 60-man pool. We'll have to see how long he is there for. Once Peter O'Brien is healthy again or once he tests negative again, Michael Harris may go back down. More than likely he will. But side note, Michael Harris was the 2019 third-round pick for the Braves in the MLB draft. So what they're doing is very similar to what they're doing with these other prospects. They're bringing him in to have him, right there with other guys, right there with the major league players and the guys that, he can build around and get some experience from. So good to see that. But, of course, we want to see Peter O'Brien back on the Braves roster. So Cole Hamels is pretty much expected to not be on the Braves opening day roster. We kind of know that for a fact. He probably is going to miss at least one start. If you don't know, he's got tricep tendonitis, and right now that's crippling him to a degree. So hopefully he'll be back soon, but the pitching is definitely down for the time being. So that's why it's really good that Cal Wright had such a good outing yesterday. All these pitchers are really having good outings. Sean Newcomb is another one that we talked about yesterday that's had a really good outing. They're vying for those rotation spots right now. Hopefully they'll be able to compete, and we'll find who's going to fill that gap until Cole Hamels returns. So with that said, we got to talk about the biggest name that is away from the Braves right now, and that is Freddie Freeman. Although Brian Snitker is kind of holding out hope that he's going to return, he is also not expected to be on the roster on opening day by most insiders to the Braves. With that said, who are the replacements? We talked I believe it was earlier this week, that Austin Riley has been said that he's going to be the first pick as first baseman if Freddie's not around. That is a good thing. Riley could be a very hot bat in the lineup, but he's also had time at first base. And it really helps with the Riley versus Camargo debacle at third base. So if we have both of those guys in the lineup with Freddie gone, I don't think that's a bad substitution. The other picks it could be, obviously Peter O'Brien's out right now. Yonder Alonso could fill that role, but also Charlie Culberson could fill that role. He actually played for the home team yesterday, and he could easily fill that role. He's so versatile. So I guess that adds to the question of, will Charlie Culberson make the opening day roster. They have limited numbers. It's a 30-man roster. Cuts got to be made. With that said, from an outsider point of view, it is really hard for me to picture the Braves going into opening day without Charlie Culberson. Mainly because if somebody goes down, he can fill any role on the field. And he's proven that for the past couple of seasons. He's one of the most clutch players in the game, and he's a great utility hand to have around. Add to that, he's got a great friendship with the newly acquired Yasiel Puig, and we spoke about that last night. If you missed that video, go check it out. But I think it's not only good to keep Charlie around, I think it's necessary in this shortened season to have players like Charlie around, with the roster, especially with the roster declining with COVID-19 almost every day. But that's all we have for today. Stay tuned. We'll recap today's game either tonight or tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. Also, make sure you like this video so other Braves fans can find it, and subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so that you can be notified every time I drop something new, which is almost every day. So stay tuned and keep up with the Braves right here on deck.